Let's do this. Good afternoon. Are we ready to do this thing? All right. Then let's get her done. My name is Margaret Purser, and I am the chair of the faculty at Sonoma State. And on behalf of the faculty and all of us in the Sonoma State community, we would like to welcome you to this commencement ceremony. That's a good thing. Would the banner carriers please place their heraldic banners in their stands at this time? All right. And now would everyone please be seated? It is my very great pleasure today to welcome our singer, our student musician, Ms. Kelly Brody, to the podium. She will be performing America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you, Kelly, for that beautiful performance, which opens our commencement ceremony today. And it is now my pleasure to introduce President Arminiana of Sonoma State.
I am pleased to add my welcome to that given by Professor Purser on behalf of the faculty and staff of Sonoma State University, many of whom are present today to share in this celebration. This year, graduates have number approximately 2,200. About 1,000 of you are participating in this afternoon ceremony for the School of Science and Technology and the School of Social Sciences, we obviously have a competition between the two schools about who can be the loudest. Social Sciences is winning at this moment, but the afternoon's still early. A large number participating in ceremony earlier today for the Schools of Arts and Humanities, School of Business and Economics, and a School of Education. They cheer for themselves in the morning. You will be joining more than 53,000 students who have completed a master's or bachelor's degree at Sonoma State University since our first commencement in 1962. You come from many states and many countries, which are represented by the various flags you see behind me, although the majority of you are from California. Today you celebrate an achievement in common, the award of a master's or bachelor's degree. To all of you, the graduates of 2013, welcome to your commencement. We want to welcome the family and friends of our graduates. You can all share in the happiness and pride of our graduates on this great occasion because each one of you has played some part in their success. I would like to take a moment as we begin this commencement ceremony to invite the graduates to stand and acknowledge their parents and grandparents, children, spouses, significant others, brothers and sisters and friends for their help and support. Thank you. We're pleased to have on our platform party today several distinguished guests. Ms. Bernadette Charan is a California State University faculty trustee and a professor at Humboldt State. She understands and embraces the special mission of the CSU and is committed to helping ensure high-quality academic programs for our students. Dr. Douglas Fagan is a California State University trustee. His passion for journalism and media has been a lifelong career, and he brings that passion to the CSU students. I also would like to give a special acknowledgement to Dr. Elaine Leader, the Dean of the School of Social Sciences, who is graduating this year. She will be retiring this summer. She'll be coming back on the faculty, but this is her last commencement as Dean, and I want to thank her for all the great work she has done as our Dean. Thank you, Elaine. I would like to acknowledge university officials and others in the platform party who are here today to honor our graduates. You will find their names and titles on page 16 of your commencement program. I would also like to acknowledge our distinguished faculty who are here today to participate in this very important ceremony. The names of our faculty can be found starting on page 49 of your program. Finally, please join me in recognizing the almost 200 members of the Sonoma State University staff whose dedication and hard work has made this ceremony possible. I would like now to invite Trustee Cheyenne from the California State University to greet our graduates.
Thank you, President Armañana. It is a great honor to share this special day with the newest graduates of Sonoma State University, families and friends of the graduates, and the faculty and staff of this excellent university. I'm delighted to bring you greetings and congratulations on behalf of Chancellor White and the California State University. Graduates, you truly represent the best hopes of the state of California. This spring, more than 90,000 new CSU graduates will be moving on from their alma maters to enter into professional and graduate schools or directly into the workforce of this great state. Together, you are cause for great optimism for our future. The state of California is counting on your skills, your knowledge, your creativity, and the dedication that you've shown in working successfully toward the degree that you will receive today. We know that you will not disappoint. As a citizen and member of your community, continue to support the CSU by showing others how earning a college degree can be the most important step toward a brighter future. As a graduate of the CSU, be an ambassador for our system. Let your friends, colleagues, legislators, and community know how important the CSU has been to you and how they can join you in keeping the doors of opportunity open for others by supporting the California State University. As graduates of Sonoma State University, you've received not only a deep and strong education in your major fields, but an appreciation and understanding of the value of the liberal arts and sciences that are the basis for a rewarding personal life and career. You are very fortunate to have attended such a fine institution. You have worked hard, and you deserve the degrees that will be conferred upon you today. Again, on behalf of the California State University, the Chancellor, and the Board of Trustees, I congratulate you on your achievement and wish you every success as you leave this great university for your wonderful tomorrows.
Thank you very much, Trustee Shane. I would now like to invite Associated Student Senator Alexandra Barker to greet the students. Ms. Barker has been working not just this year but for a couple of years now in student governance. She's one of your leaders, and she has worked very, very closely with other students, with faculty governance, with the administration on a number of really important issues this year. Please welcome.
Welcome, graduates, students, parents, and friends to the 2013 Sonoma State Commencement. On this beautiful day, I would like to congratulate these approximately 1,000 graduates on their final step in the Sonoma State experience. As your representative of the Associated Students, it is my pleasure to represent you. Throughout my 4 years here at Sonoma, I have learned that although this is a huge milestone in our lives, which has impacted us immensely, it is just the beginning of this amazing adventure we call life. And much like college, life is what you make it. Therefore, your success is impingent on your will to succeed. On behalf of the other 8,500 fellow students not here today, we want to wish you the best of luck and happiness in your future aspirations. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ms. Barker. I would now like to introduce your student speaker this afternoon, Ms. Karina Buzo. Ms. Buzo grew up in Stockton, California. Karina is the recipient of the Aaron Fisher Leadership Award and is a McNair Scholar. She plans to pursue her master's at Oregon State University. So please join me in welcoming Karina Buzo.
Good afternoon, class of 2013. As our time here at Sonoma winds down to its very last hours, I want to give us time to reflect on our journeys to these chairs this afternoon. Each of our stories start out differently. Some of us are first-generation college students. Others are students with a long line of educated family members. And then there are all of the students in between. Through all of our differences, we have all managed to attend Sonoma State and make it to graduation. Congratulations. We all now know what a sea wolf is, kind of. We all now know what the Sonoma aroma is. We'd rather not. And most of us even know all of the seats in Ives that get the best cell phone service, the entire top row. This season of our life is over. Whatever your experience at Sonoma has included, it has come to an end. We will take with us the things that mattered most and leave the rest in our memory banks for times that we need comfort. Some of us will intend to take friendships, relationships, networking connections with us, but please keep in mind that sometimes people come into your life just for a season. It may be the best season that you ever had, but summer can't last forever. So, take pictures. Take too many pictures. You just got your picture taken. Take in the images that will form into memories that we take with us into our next steps in our lives. We will remember this time in the best ways possible as college students, soaking up the sun-streaked faces of happiness, listening closely to laughter of new friends, and holding tightly onto old friends that we've left behind. There was a time when Sonoma was brand new to each of us. At some point, each of us had no idea what Salazar meant, had a hard time believing that the structure in the middle of the quad was a breakfast item, and each of us probably had a couple nerve-wracking visits to Charlie Brown's before realizing what to order and how to order it. Eventually, we got the hang of things, and we became the students that once intimidated us. The season is closing. The leaves are changing colors. Everything that was once routine, comfortable, everything that has been our home will become new. We will find new routines in places unknown. We will get comfortable in activities that have no connection to Sonoma. We will make new homes of places outside of Rohnert Park. We will find happiness in every place that we go. New and unknown is scary. Some of us know exactly what is happening in the next 3 months. And luckies. And some of us don't know exactly what's happening in the next 3 hours. But either way, we must understand that the consistency of Sonoma that we have found comforting during our time was only temporary. Therefore, only consistent for a short amount of time. Therefore, not really consistent at all. And that true consistency is hard to come by. It's even harder to hold on to. Rather than being constant, consistency is actually an ideal. We all hope that one day our life will level itself out and that one day we will be ferociously happy in mindless routines of dream jobs, perfect families, and successful relationships. But the reality is that sometimes home isn't where you started. And sometimes family isn't always who you share blood with. The reality is people that voluntarily say that they want to stay will make the conscious decision to leave. That a place like Sonoma, a place that you loved or hated, a place that has come as familiar, will start losing its details in our memory, and we will realize that the only thing consistent is change. So through heartbreaks, unmet expectations, and goodbyes, always remember to embrace change the most. It's the only thing you can depend on. Life is not about being able to go through day-to-day activities without tripping. It's about being able to fall gracefully. Life is about finding the importance in falling as well. Through all of the falls, hiccups that this next season may bring you, make a promise to do everything that scares you. Anything that matters should scare you. Understand that this is when your life becomes your own. It is no longer connected to someone else telling you what to do. Whatever happens next is yours and yours alone. Be selfish. Do not limit your potential in order to make other people comfortable. Do everything that is within arm's reach and kick ass doing it. There is nothing that is strong enough to stop you from taking what is yours, especially if you want it bad enough. In life, there is a time that we should embrace silence, a time to stay very still. We are all at a point where we need to place everything that we have held on to for so long down on the ground. Look at all of those things set neatly around you. Remove yourself from those things. Walk away. Be absent until you have regained enough strength to pick things up again. Regain enough strength to leave some things on the ground. Strength that will help you realize the importance of picking up and the importance of letting go. Stay still enough and wish hard enough that maybe, eventually, all of our hard work and good deeds will outweigh and erase all of the mistakes that we have ever made. We will be happy. We have all worked for too hard, for too long, to not find happiness, even if only in the silver lining of being done here at Sonoma State. This is the end. Sonoma is completed. You won't realize you're done now, and you won't realize you're done after you celebrate with friends and family tonight. You won't realize you're done as you drive away from Rohnert Park for the last time. And you might not realize you're done as you unpack your belongings at your next location. But as time passes, details will fade, and names of important places and people begin to lose their vibrancy. You will realize that your memory only has enough space for a certain amount of happiness. The happiness and comfort created here will be replaced with happiness and comfort with something new. Friends will be replaced with friends that relate to you at your new stage in life, and the friends that you leave behind will always be the ones who watched you grow from a new Sonoma student to a graduating Sonoma student. Let's take a minute and think back to everything that you loved. It will make you sad one day. Take a second to think back to everything that you hated. It will make you laugh one day. Take a breath, capture photos in your memories of this moment. Remember what this moment feels like. Think of all of the people who are happy for you, all of the people who helped you get to this moment. Look towards the stage at faculty and professors who supported you. As they watched your growth, they are your biggest enemies and your biggest fans. Look next to you at friends who held you. They laughed with you, cried with you, slept on the bathroom floor with you, studied with you, and are now graduating with you. Now look behind you to see loved ones who put everything on the line for us to be here this afternoon, who look at us and still see diapers and toys. Thank all of those people and never forget that today is for all of those long nights of studying, the frustrating roommate problems, the nasty food we ate on a budget, the embarrassing nights of social exploration. We overcame it all. It's official. We are all ending our journey here. There are friendships, relationships, and acquaintances of all variations that link us to one another, that link us to this campus, all connections that help us get to this lawn this afternoon. In one of my very first classes, a freshman-only course, the professor said, "Look to your left, look to your right. There is a very high chance that only one of you will make it to graduation." In preparing to graduate, I tried very hard to remember who I sat next to that day, and I can't remember. And I realized they probably didn't make it. Each of us are the ones that made it. I applaud the traditional 4 to 5 year students. We came here wide-eyed and ready to take on the world. We may or may not have lost our focus along the way, but we made it. I commend the transfer students who came in halfway. They chose life-influenced decisions to start at another college worked hard, then started brand new halfway through their degree and made Sonoma equally their home. I give my appreciation and respect to the students who have lived life between their education, who worked jobs, found other passions, created families, and are continuing to make their dreams come true despite everything that's working against them. No matter our journeys to this point, we sit here together under the sun, unfortunately, on May 11th, 2013, to accept our degrees and wave our goodbyes. Say thank yous for helping and thank yous for congratulating us, and take the first step off of this stage and into our futures. Take in the happiness. We have made it. This is our moment. Congratulations, class of 2013.
Thank you, Karina. Much appreciated that inspiring message. Just for reference, she made a reference to the Sonoma aroma, and many of you who are not from this area, especially you come from cities, especially in Southern California, might not know what that is. That is the organic smell left by cows in the neighborhood, and depends upon the day the winds blow, and you know they existed, and that smell permeates our beautiful but rural campus. Thank God today the wind is going the right way. We're honored to have our speaker today, Ms. Allison Levine. Ms. Levine is no stranger to risk-taking. She has survived sub-zero temperatures, hurricane forces, sudden avalanches, and a career in Wall Street. And today, she faces you. Surprisingly, Allison was born with a life-threatening heart condition, and as a teenager, her health was so unstable that she was not even allowed to do such basic things as drive a car or climb the stairs. But 13 years after her initial diagnosis, she had surgery that changed her life, and climbing stairs soon gave way to climbing mountains, a passion that Allison continued to pursue despite her initial health setbacks. She has since climbed the highest peak on every continent, served as the team captain of the first American women's Everest expedition, and skied across the Arctic Circle to the geographic North Pole. In January 2008, she made history as the first American to follow a remote route across West Antarctica for 600 miles to the South Pole. She completed this arduous journey on skis while hauling 150 pounds of her gear and supplies in a sled harness to her waist. And when you meet her, you know that she's way under that 150 pounds. Her success in extreme environments is noteworthy, given that she suffers from a neurological disease that causes the arteries that feed her fingers and toes to collapse in cold weather, leaving her at extreme risk for frostbite. Allison currently serves as an adjunct professor at the United States Military Academy in West Point, where she teaches in the Department of Behavioral Sciences and Leadership. We're honored to have Ms. Levine with us, and thank you to the associated students for their efforts in bringing her today. Ms. Allison Levine.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks. Thanks, President Armagnana. To the Board of Trustees, the administrators, and faculty, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. To the family members and friends of graduates, welcome. And most importantly, to the Sonoma State University class of 2013, congratulations. You heard Karina say there is a time for silence. This is not one of them. Well done, you guys, seriously. Congrats, you made it, come on. That's what I want to hear. All right, much better. I can say without reservation that this is by far the sharpest looking group of graduates I have ever had the honor of addressing. I'm sorry if I seem a little nervous. I've never spoken at a graduation before. Just kidding, you guys. Come on. I know that today's a really big day for you, and there must be so many questions swirling around in your heads. Questions like, what's next for me? How am I going to do in my first job? Or when am I going to find my first job? And in addition to wondering what your future holds, many of you are also wondering, who the heck is this woman speaking to us right now? And perhaps even more pressing, why is she speaking to us? Well, I realize that commencement addresses given at the college and university level is often delivered by a government leader or a successful business leader who happens to be a household name, maybe like a founder or a CEO or a COO of a prestigious company. Well, I have to come clean and tell you that I have never run a company. I have never even run a division of a company. Matter of fact, I have never run anything other than errands. My view on leadership comes from my experiences climbing some of the world's highest peaks. In addition to serving as the team captain for the first American women's Everest expedition, I have climbed the 7 summits. Oh, thanks, you guys. I have climbed the 7 summits. It's the highest peak on each continent, and have skied to both the North and the South Poles. My adventures have taken me to some of the harshest, most remote places on the planet, where determination is every bit as important as skill when it comes to survival. On almost all of my expeditions, I've faced hurdles brought about by harsh conditions, malfunctioning equipment, difficult climbing partners, don't get me started, and logistical mishaps. So while I don't know what it's like to close a round of venture capital funding or take a company public or report quarterly earnings, I do know a little something about taking risks, climbing tough routes, keeping teams motivated, and dealing with environments which are completely unpredictable, all the things that will be a part of your lives going forward. Now, I know you've had faculty members, family, and friends who have given you plenty of really useful advice over the years about how to be successful. Everyone tells you to work hard, be honest and tell the truth, do the right thing, be a good friend, treat people well, and lead a balanced life. That's all good stuff, and it's really important. But you don't need to hear more of that from me. You can get that kind of stuff from Oprah, if you can actually find her network on the cable channel. I thought that what might be most useful for you would be for me to share some of the lessons I learned on my expeditions over the years. Now, of course, I realize that most of you have no desire to spend 6 weeks dragging a 150-pound sled across 600 miles of Antarctic ice, or to spend 2 months climbing Mount Everest, or 4 months if you're me, since I did it twice. But the lessons I learned in these extreme environments are very applicable to the situations you will no doubt face at some point along whatever route you choose in your career and in your life. Granted, the challenges that most of you will come up against from this point on will not present the same physical danger that mountaineers or polar explorers encounter during their expeditions. And if they do, you need to speak with folks from the Human Resources Department immediately. But many of the lessons I learned in these remote extreme environments are indeed applicable to the situations you will face. Few could argue that we are indeed living in very extreme times. Our economic, governmental, social, technological, and environmental landscapes are constantly shifting and changing. Every organization's budgets are tight, resources are slim, and markets move at a breakneck pace. The result is unprecedented volatility and risk for companies as well as their employees. More than ever, there is an intense pressure to not just survive, but to thrive. And just as it's easy to get lost on a mountain during a sudden whiteout and lose sight of the summit, it's also easy to get lost in the unpredictable chaos of modern-day work and life and lose sight of our proverbial summits, our personal and professional aspirations and commitments, as well as our responsibilities to those around us. I don't ever want you to lose sight of what is important. So here are some tips that I hope will be helpful as you embark upon this new stage of life. First, let's talk about fear, which Karina also mentioned in her speech. Some of you may be feeling it right now since you don't really know what the future holds. The scariest thing I have ever encountered is the Khumbu Icefall on Mount Everest. The Khumbu Icefall is the first part of the route once you leave base camp. And this icefall is one of the deadliest parts of the mountain because it's basically 2,000 vertical feet of these big, huge moving ice chunks. The ice chunks are massive. They're the size of school buses or apartment buildings. And what makes the icefall so dangerous is the fact that it is in constant motion, and it moves at a rate of about 4 feet per day. So what happens is the sun comes up, everything starts to melt. These big, huge ice chunks, they start to shift around, so you are in constant danger of being crushed. If that's not bad enough, the icefall is riddled with these things called crevasses, which are basically just big splits in the glacier that are often covered in snow, so you can't see them. So if you aren't careful, as you're making your way through the Khumbu Icefall, you could fall hundreds of feet to your death. So between the big moving ice chunks and the open crevasses, it is a very scary part of the mountain. But it's also where I learned one of the best lessons about climbing and about life, which is this. Fear is okay. As Karina said, fear is okay, you guys. It's just a normal human emotion. Complacency is what will kill you. You're going to have to be able to act and react very quickly when the environment around you is shifting and changing. And at the rate the world is moving, you can expect plenty of change. But don't ever beat yourself up for feeling scared or intimidated. I think fear is actually a good tool. Keeps you awake, alert, on your toes, aware of everything going on around you. So fear is fine as long as you're still able to take action and you don't let it paralyze you. Next, there are always going to be elements of your environment that you cannot control. So the sooner you accept that, the better. On a mountain, the weather is probably the most obvious thing that you can't control that's going to affect your climb. So sometimes you get up to the high camp on Mount Everest and you look at the summit and you see blue skies and there's little wind and it looks, pretty approachable. But within a matter of minutes, the wind kicks up, the clouds come in, it starts to dump snow, and at that point you're thinking, there is no way I can climb this. But what you have to remember is that even though the storms are intimidating, you know that storms are always temporary. There's just no such thing as a storm that lasts forever, right? So when you feel like you're in the middle of a really chaotic storm, you just have to keep your bearings and know that at some point those clouds are going to go away, the skies are going to be blue, and everything's going to look a whole lot better. But the key to surviving these storms is that you have to be able to take action based on the situation at the time and not based on some plan. Because whatever plan you guys came up with, last year, last month, last week, even this morning, your plans are outdated as soon as they're finished when you're in environments that change very rapidly. So you can't be hell-bent on always sticking to your plan. You need to be much more focused on taking action based on what is going on at the time. If you do that, you will survive the storms. If you made it through college and you're part of this graduation ceremony today, you already have the skills to weather the storms. So take pride in that. My third point, extreme environments can kick the crap out of you. So be aware of this going in. You guys should know you're going to get pushed to your limit and beyond. So expect a little pain. Expect discomfort. But it's those times when you have nothing left, when you are freezing and exhausted and every muscle in your body is screaming at you at an ear-piercing level. Those are the times when you know you have got to get back out on the trail and keep pushing. And once you push past that point of feeling discomfort and pain, you know that you can keep going. No matter how bad you think you might have it at any given time, I guarantee there's somebody else out there that has it worse than you do. Most people are familiar with the late Sir Edmund Hillary. In 1953, Hillary and his Sherpa, Tenzing Norgay, became the first people to conquer Mount Everest. An incredible feat, to be sure. It took 22 years before a woman would stand on top of the highest mountain in the world. But Junko Taibei from Japan did just that on May 16, 1975. She was 35 years old, 4'9" tall. Edmund Hillary was 6'5", by the way. And she had a 2-year-old daughter at home in Tokyo at the time of her climb. But that is not what made her achievement so noteworthy. What made her summit day so remarkable was the fact that 12 days prior, she and her teammates had been completely buried in an avalanche. It took 6 Sherpas to dig them out. Junko was in so much pain that she could barely stand, yet she still managed to get to the top of the mountain. What was it that got her to the top? When asked how she did it, she replied, "Technique and ability alone do not get you to the top. It is willpower that is most important. This willpower you cannot buy with money or be given by others. It rises from your heart." I know you just spent 4 years, or perhaps longer, studying various academic subjects. But when it comes down to it, what will help you more than math or history or biology or computer science is indeed willpower. That's what's going to get you through the really tough parts of life. If you have that, there will be no stopping you. Of course, that degree in computer science is really helpful too. Right? Seriously, you guys. All right, so now I have a question for you, and I want to see a show of hands here. How many of you have ever, you can't put your hand up yet, I haven't asked a question. How many of you have ever failed at something? Okay, hang on, I'm not talking about failing to pay your parking tickets, or failing to make it to your early morning class, or failing to knock before you walked in on your roommate when they were with a really hot date. I'm talking about failing at something you really put a lot of effort into achieving. In 2002, during my first attempt on Everest, my team did not make it to the summit. We missed it by just a few hundred feet when we were forced to turn back in poor weather. It was 8 years before I got up enough courage to go back to Everest and try it again. But I did, and in 2010, I went back to give that big bad mountain another try. And guess what happened on my second attempt when I was ready to go for the summit? Another storm blew in again. And I thought, I cannot believe I am back here in this same exact situation 8 years later, ready to go for the summit, and in comes a storm. But of course, we cannot control the environment. All we can do is control the way we react to it. Most people that day abandoned their summit attempts and started head down. But I decided I was going to try to climb despite the less than ideal conditions. I pressed on in that storm for more than 9 hours and was able to make it to the top. But had I not had that failed attempt in 2002, I'm sure I would have turned around when everybody else did. And it was only because I had that learning experience, that past failure 8 years earlier, so I knew what my pain threshold was, I knew what my risk tolerance was, and I wasn't afraid to be high up on that summit ridge in a storm and get the snot kicked out of me the second time around. Failing in and of itself is not a bad thing, but failing to learn from it is inexcusable. Embracing failure is what keeps you alive in the mountains. You learn when to push and when to pull the plug. And if you make good decisions, you will always have another shot at the top. In general, I think we're not really a very failure-tolerant society, which is really too bad because I think a lack of failure tolerance really stifles progress and innovation and prevents people from taking risks. You have to give yourselves room to fail. I want you to promise me and promise yourselves that you will always give yourselves freedom to fail. All right, confession time. I graduated from college more than 25 years ago, and I am ashamed to admit that I cannot remember anything about the ceremony. I know I was wearing a black robe and a cap, and that's about all I can recall. mean, it was a long time ago, and truth be told, I tried to set a record for tequila shots the night before, which I did, and that part I remember. But I honestly don't remember what our speaker said or even who our speaker was. And I really don't care if you forget who I am tomorrow. But that is one thing I hope you will remember and take with you through the rest of your life, and that's this. Starting today, you are in a leadership position. And I know that seems kind of weird because you're young and you're starting a new job and you're going to be junior employees and you have a huge learning curve. But leadership has nothing to do with age or title or tenure or where you work. Leadership is not related to salary or how many people report to you or how large of a budget you happen to oversee. Leadership is about realizing that we all have a responsibility to look out for the people around us. Leadership does not lie solely with the senior executives or the management team within an organization. Everyone is responsible for helping to move forward with the mission. But in addition, every single employee, teammate, and person must realize it's also their responsibility to look out for the people on either side of them and help them move in the right direction as well. Good, sound leadership is necessary not just in corporate environment or government buildings, but at home, in schools, and on playing fields. We must all work toward having a positive effect on our friends, families, coworkers, and communities. Well, graduates, today is your summit day. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. You worked hard for it. You earned it, and you should be incredibly proud of yourselves. But now you have to think about how you're going to take everything you learned here at Sonoma State and put it to use so you can be even better going forward. Because there are going to be many, many more mountains for you to climb. And after climbing the highest peak on all 7 continents and skiing to both the North and the South Pole, here's what I realized. Reaching the top of a mountain or getting to the pole doesn't change your life, nor does it have any impact on the world around you. You're at the summit of Mount Everest for a few minutes. I was up there for 30 minutes. That was considered a long time to be on the summit. So what? Summits are meaningless. It's the journey that is important. What did you learn along the way? How are you going to take what you learned on this mountain and have some impact on the world around you? Class of 2013, your families and loved ones are incredibly proud of you for what you've accomplished, and I'm proud of you too. But while today is most certainly a day to celebrate you, today is not nearly as important as what you will do tomorrow. You are indeed nothing less than amazing. So get out there and bring it, you guys. Congratulations, best of luck on your climb, and I wish you all a lifetime of adventure.
Thank you, Allison. I think we'll remember both you and your message very much. I would like now to take a moment to recognize our recipient of the Staff Excellence Award. These awards are presented to selected members of the Sonoma State University staff in recognition of their outstanding service to the university and its students and faculty. Today's recipient is Ms. Victoria Chavez from the Campus Dining Service. Her biography is on page 9 of your program. And thank you so much for your great service. Academic life has offered you the opportunity to study and learn, to reflect, analyze, and synthesize, to formulate and test hypotheses. As you leave the world of the university and enter upon the course of your careers, you surely will put your theories to the test. Your new world likely will become more demanding and less forgiving. You will be faced with greater challenges and with more questions than solutions. In the real world, we all learn that our decisions and actions have very real consequences, both practical and moral, for ourselves and others. What is certain in this very dynamic world is that there is no shortage of important work for the graduates of 2013. What advice can I offer you to guide you on your way? I charge you to live a life of learning. Knowledge is a tool for bettering this world. You have developed skills of acquiring knowledge and critical thinking. Continue to hone your skills, to ask questions and pursue sound answers, and to exercise discipline in your work. I charge you to cultivate compassion for others. From compassion comes understanding of our differences and appreciation of our commonalities. Compassion engenders kindness and caring and generosity. The virtues are the essence of our humanity and the ingredients we need to achieve truly peaceful, collaborative coexistence. I charge you to become involved in community life. To paraphrase Pericles' statement in the Golden Age of Athens, we do not say of people who do not participate in public affairs that they mind their own business. We say that they have no business here at all. We do not achieve alone. We always achieve with others. As citizens, we're obliged to understand the assumptions, ideals, and aspirations of our communities and to develop the desire and the will to participate in their institutions for the common good. I charge you to actively seek and create and teach a life of hope. We must believe that what we think and say and do can make a difference. We're living in a period of turbulence in our economic systems, our political institutions, our social values, and throughout the world. In such times, we can easily become dispirited and discouraged. Our greatest challenge is to keep alive the belief that a better, more enlightened, more humane world is truly possible. And I charge you to do all of this with a sense of adventure and fun. The faculty of this university has determined that you, the graduates of 2013, are ready to meet your responsibilities. I join them, along with the university administration and staff, your family and friends, and our distinguished guests here today in wishing you a rewarding future. The graduates will now be presented and the degrees conferred. I recognize Dr. Margaret Purser, Chair of the Faculty.
Here we go. President Armeniana, it is my privilege to recommend these students who are assembled before you as candidates for degrees under requirements prescribed by the trustees of the California State University and by the faculty of Sonoma State University. Many of the candidates participating in today's ceremony are preparing for their lifelong careers and are receiving a master's degree or a bachelor's degree for their major fields. And some are completing or will soon begin coursework leading to a California teaching or service credential. We are all very, very proud of the contribution that you will make to your respective fields of study and to this society. Please join me in wishing all the graduates every success in their calling. Candidates for the master's degrees and bachelor's degrees will be presented to you by the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Andrew Rogerson.
President Armeniana, I am pleased to certify that the master's degree candidates here today have completed all the requirements established by the trustees of the California State University and the faculty of Sonoma State University for the degrees of Master of Science in Biology, Master of Science in Computer and Engineering Science, Master of Arts in Counseling, Master of Arts in Cultural Resources Management, Master of Arts in History, Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, Master of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies, Master of Arts in Kinesiology, Master of Science in Nursing, Will all master's degree candidates please rise and remain standing?
Candidates for the master's degree, you have heard the recommendation of the faculty of Sonoma State University. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I do hereby confer upon each of you who has satisfied the requirements the appropriate degree of Master of Arts and Master of Science with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereon pertaining. Congratulations. And please be seated.
President Arminiana, the deans of the schools will now present the candidates for the bachelor's degree. I recognize Dr. Lynn Stauffer, Dean of the School of Science and Technology.
Will the outstanding and totally amazing candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the School of Science and Technology please rise and make some noise? President Arminiana, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Science and Technology, I have the tremendous honor to recommend the candidates for bachelor's degrees with majors in biochemistry, biology, chemistry, computer science, earth science, engineering science, geology, interdisciplinary studies, kinesiology, mathematics, nursing, physics. Come on, let's help out the physicists. And statistics.
Thank you, Dean Stauffer. Candidates from the School of Science and Technology, you may now be seated. I recognize Dr. Elaine Leader, Dean of the School of Social Sciences.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Social Sciences please rise? President Arminiana, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Social Sciences, I truly have the honor to present the candidates for the bachelor's degrees with majors in anthropology. Come on, make some noise, social sciences. Criminology and criminal justice studies. Environmental studies and planning. Geography. Global studies. History. Human development. Liberal studies, Ukiah, Napa, and Solano. Help them out, folks. Political science. Psychology and the Masters of Psychology. Sociology. Women and gender studies. Now go out and make a difference in the world, my friends.
Thank you, Dean Leader. Candidates from the School of Social Sciences, you may now be seated.
But not for long, please. All bachelor's degrees, please rise. Candidates for the bachelor's degree, You have heard the recommendation of the faculty of Sonoma State University. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I do hereby confer upon each of you who has satisfied the requirements the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Sciences, with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereupon pertaining. Now, to signify that the bachelor's degree has been earned, you may move the tassel on your cap to the left side. Congratulations. With all the graduates, please join me in expressing our appreciation to the faculty and staff of Sonoma State University, whose hard work and dedication have helped you to achieve this goal. And please be seated. Oh.
It's okay, it's almost over. But before we go there, we've got a favor to ask of you. All these people you see out here in front of you, these candidates, have devoted a great deal of time and energy and sacrifice in order to get their degrees. And there are a whole lot of people out there in the audience who have waited a long time to see this day and to hear their names called. So that each of the candidates may be accorded personal recognition, we're going to call every single name as they approach the platform to receive their diplomas. But we really, really, really would like to ask the audience to remain seated for this special moment so everybody can see. And also, we'd like to ask you to hold your applause if you can, or at least make it possible for everyone's name to be heard by the people who've come to hear that name. On behalf of the faculty and the graduates, we would like to thank very much the professors Mary Halavey and Suzanne Rivoire for reading the names. We will now present the diplomas. I recognize Dr. Melinda Bernard, Associate Vice President of Faculty Affairs, who will introduce the candidates.
Will those receiving master's degrees from the School of Science and Technology please rise? Master degree candidates, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Jordan Stewart Smith, Master's in Kinesiology.
Marv Paoli, Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies.
Mariette Franklin, Postmasters, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Tram James, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Glenda Estrado Lando, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Amy Whitesell, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Choma Ihiki, Family Nurse Practitioner and Master of Science in Nursing.
Jenna Weathers, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Agnes Guito, Family Nurse Practitioner, Master of Science in Nursing.
Jennifer Olds, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Svetlana Melkehi, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
Shanti D'Souza, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Nadia Samii, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
Rachel Marie Isabella Maston, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Rebecca Hummel Moore, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
Pamela Ann Fisher, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Christine J. Romano, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
Erin Kahn, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Kristen Patridis, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
Frank Randall Magali, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Angela Ingram, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
Gina Bryant, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Margaret Mack, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Kimberly Bruns, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Julie Fadness, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
Mark Schneider, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Jiachen Wei, Computer and Engineering Science Masters.
Denise Gontiz, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Miguel Wong, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
John Beadle, now serving our country overseas, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. And
Kathy Cladar, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
And James Pippin, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Lynette Gresham, Master of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner.
Dean Shahada, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. Accepting on behalf of Marcia K. Brown, Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies.
Congratulations to the recipients of master's degrees from the School of Science and Technology. Please be seated. Okay, all you science and tech nerds, now it's your turn. Will the bachelor degree recipients from the School of Science and Technology please stand? Will the school marshals please direct your graduates to come forward and receive their diplomas?
Catherine Pryor.
Rachel Palm Wheeler.
Marissa Lund.
Sarah Elizabeth Chur.
Grace Kyoko.
Emily L. McDonald.
Julie Hadley.
Vasiliki Maria Ficarius.
Angela Danvers.
Alexandria Marie Scolini.
Amanda Machowski.
Charlotte Elizabeth Sally.
Anna Cabigas.
Michael Wizenand.
Michelle M. Patterson.
Chris Fapiano.
Matthew Ely.
Haley Garofalo.
Jocelyn Lauder.
Acacia Mason.
Christian Ann Bunslick.
Audrey Short.
Ashley Ann Moravich.
Sabrina Raby.
Macy Dane Usher.
Jessica Lynn Hill.
Allison Marie Madwell.
Melina Loring.
Megan Michelle McGrew.
Kelly Aaron Duffy.
Melissa Jean Shaw.
Cornelia Klein.
Lindsay Nicole Blumke.
Samantha Balanon.
Erin Pomeroy Winter.
Ashley Bongiovanni.
Shannon Lynn Sineri.
Haley Smith.
Melissa Welch.
Jason Crane.
Melanie Flores.
Matthew Campbell.
Patrick Hellman.
Jenna Lindley.
Jocelyn Randall.
Leah Pearl.
Shanna Conant.
Alyssa Burnett.
Kathy Reynosa.
Sylvia Ann Lewis.
Lyra's Faith Lockup.
Jessica Mills.
Deborah Dobbins-Beck.
Taylor Elliott Lewis.
Mark John Kanakis.
Taylor Anthony Keys.
John Hertzberger.
Michael Harris.
Taylor Cohen.
Sam Brannon.
Sarah McCabe.
Kelsey Espinoza.
Hannah Sturkel.
Jana Putney.
Ashley Lynn DeMatteo.
Pema Lama.
Emily Hurd.
Joshua Baca.
Christopher Plombeck.
Kristen Cook.
Casey Adiego.
Nolan File.
Daniel Ertel.
Hillary Jones.
Emily Rose Horning.
Chelsea Calder.
Mason Morris.
Pamela Gresh.
Myrna Alleman.
Thomas Gioso.
Scott Wilson.
Julie Corrigan.
Vicky Lee.
Alex Morse.
Bianca Alley.
Ray Bayless.
Nicole Brooks.
Catherine Munsky.
Lauren Danielle Rivera.
Bella Herschel Neufeld.
Catherine Spangler.
Shay Shop.
Aaron O'Connor.
Kelsey Goldback.
Haley Henyon.
Daniel Allen Lorenz Jr.
Amanda Lewis.
Jason Hokey.
Rebecca Allison Smith.
Grayson Andrew Jensen Dykes.
Jude Rowe.
Kirsten Roseland.
Anna Vojtovich.
Stacy Molchanoff.
Brandon Baker.
Ashley Savio.
Katie Badham.
Tasha Paddock.
Jack Horwitz.
Eden Mazzola.
Travis Rowland Papa.
Chris Elving.
Erica Loesch.
Sarah Cheyenne Boylan.
Matthew Recker.
Tyler Marcus.
Nicholas Gould.
Ross Mose.
Kaiser Blakely.
Sam Hall.
Christopher Roberts.
Michelle Marie Sanner.
Matthew Varner.
Zaidi Garcia.
Tamaya Hobbs.
Victoria Orsine.
George Elliott Porter III.
Catherine Kramer.
Sorry. Kevin James O'Rourke.
Janet Carey Kreipel.
Matthew D'Angelo.
Mary Ann Fernandez.
Brian Michael Bianchi.
Nancy Little.
Lauren Sullivan.
Genevieve Drexler.
Diana Leon.
Charlotte Marie Didlake.
Brooke Brolier.
Kaylin Schutz.
Lauren Hendrickson.
Caitlin Blue.
Lindsay Rangel.
Catherine Liu.
Carrie Albers.
Marissa Maple.
Lorna McCarthy.
Megan McTaggart.
Ashley Evanenko.
Chelsea Tabellion.
Meredith Diddens.
Carrie Hochstetler.
Katayan Darabi Farsi.
Anna Elizabeth Miller.
Megan McIntosh.
Kendra Lee Wimberg.
Michael Yavari Barus.
Sarah Ann Glenister.
Kevin Craig Tepani.
Chelsea Kane.
Anthony Aliamos.
Kristen Henderson.
Michael Seaman.
Brittany Verissimo.
Christine Schwiebert.
Elena Mesa.
Mustafa Sadrai.
Ashley Sherfy.
Lauren Adina Halberg.
Yunjie Shu.
Mary Ruth Ramos.
Rachel Reiner.
Robin Louise Warner.
Christina Gomez Lopez.
Kristen Nowakowski.
Annabelle Morales.
Maria Kristen Salgado.
Cecilia Alvarez.
Aaron Lujan.
Chloe Hendry.
Sarah Bergston.
Benjamin Valdivinos.
Joshua Verners.
Brandon Kessel.
Ella Louise Hughes.
Brooke Abel.
Grace Cosentino.
Jody Mizuki.
Trevor Lowry.
Anna Pierce.
Cassandra Kurtwright.
Megan Marie Cantrell.
Sam Werner.
Catherine Myram.
Natalia Chavez.
Valkyria Modesto.
Rebecca Sesmet.
Patricia Tinglin.
Joseph Heinrich.
Nicholas Hughes.
Troy Harmon.
Sven Hansen.
Alicia Northrop.
Brian Puthuff.
Kirk Wilden.
Taylor Bianco.
Natalie Michelle Jagoda. Sydney Montoya. Ali Karmali. Natalie Hamblek. Kimber Richardson. Daniel Gobranson. Matthew Thomas Dorothy. Adam Stewart. Rhea Zopolos. David Becker. John Warren. William Anthony Telfer. Garrett Mulroney. Will Rouse. Kevin Dale Fry. Andrew Huss.
Congratulations to the recipients of the bachelor's degrees from the School of Science and Technology. Please be seated. Now, will those receiving master's degrees from the School of Social Science please rise? Master degree recipients, come forward and receive your diploma.
Katie Music, Masters of Public Administration.
Amy Pedersen, Masters in Counseling. Maricela Lopez, Masters in Counseling.
Elizabeth Christine Mortensen, Master of Public Administration.
Julia Chang, Masters in Counseling.
Vicki Scott, Master of Public Administration.
Wesley Wills, Masters in Cultural Resources Management.
Kemplin Robbins, Masters in Public Administration.
Aaron Haynes, Masters in Cultural Resources Management.
Michelle Gertz, Master of Arts in History.
Tina Azaria, Masters in Psychology.
Ariel Lehman, Master of Arts in History.
Blair Dubb, Masters in Counseling.
Rachel Ann Young, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Juliet Reyes Perez, Masters in Counseling, Marriage and Family Therapy.
Corey Amber Lerner Ross, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Elizabeth Espitia, Masters in Counseling.
Devin Marr, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Kara Cacciatore, Masters in Counseling.
Malcolm Jamerson, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Margaret Hagel, Master in Counseling, Psychology.
Carla Di Basilio, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Lynn Haley, Master in Counseling.
Carol Ramirez, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Amy Theodore, Masters in Counseling.
Kyle Shaw, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Patricia Ann Clark, Masters in Counseling.
Eric Albert Martinez, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Adam Smith, Masters of Arts in Counseling.
Lindsay Robichaudi, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Caitlin Cruz, Masters in Counseling.
Lindsay Kathleen Dye, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Christian Niederberger, Master in Counseling.
Bethany Dawn Carlson, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Carla Fittipaldi, Masters in Counseling.
Kalia Patience Gurney, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Teresa Maraganis, Masters in Counseling.
Hannah Goldman, Master of Arts in Counseling. Megan McClellan, Master of Arts in Counseling. Allison Hess, Master of Arts in Counseling. Jessie Ping Nia, Master of Arts in Depth Psychology.
Congratulations to the recipients of master's degrees from the School of Social Science. Please be seated. Will all you social activists from the School of Social Science please rise to receive your bachelor's degrees? Will the school marshals direct your graduates to come forward and receive their diplomas?
Joey Daniel Garza.
Samantha Fagert.
Melissa Miner.
Kirsty Leanne Cordell.
Caitlin McGarry.
Daisy Shalane Swisher.
Kimberly Jane McDermott.
Aaron James Leahy.
Sarah Ensrud.
Daniel Leanne de Oliveira.
Kendra Williams.
Ramaz Basher.
Elizabeth Ann Gill.
Caitlin Fonken.
Lorena Earls.
Marissa Fusco.
Adrian Goz.
Jocelyn Carranza.
Angela. Colleen Angeleri.
Kristen Sturm.
Nikki Adair Smatovich.
Easter Marie Sarla.
Megan Foster.
Desiree Ann Ryan.
Catherine Iantoska.
Melissa Rose Nelson.
Elena Stephanie Ramirez.
Corey Savio.
Chelsea Rose Weiner.
Lindsay May Casey.
Felicia Heron.
Kelsey Elizabeth Stewart.
Brett Joshua Geiger.
Gennaro Toback.
Suzanne Patrice.
Julio Manuel Rico.
Stephanie Patrice Pereira.
Rihanna Frank.
Jean-Paul Farage.
Sorrel Richards.
Beatrice Alcazar.
Chris Bellinesi.
Emma Montague.
Bianca Calderon.
Brian Woodward.
Olivia Comber.
David Bates.
Adelini Leon.
Steve Pye.
Myra Nava Alvarez.
Maggie Coble.
Tiffany Camarada.
Katie McGilvery.
Brian Gunn.
Faye Marie Picard.
Genevieve Fernandez.
Kelly Canese.
Eric Tucker.
Alexandra Renee Barnstock.
Sarah Uweiler.
Austin Elizabeth Price.
Andrea Bell.
Shelby Marie Stutzman.
Kylie Murphy.
Taylor Holtman.
Seamus Laffey.
Corey James Aldrich.
Curtis Sawyer.
Brian John Campbell.
Brendan McGill.
Sonny Ayers.
Sean Stevens.
Samantha Castiani.
Sarah Morris.
Kristen Parker.
Jason Gorovitz.
Zach Belts.
Tony Hulaward.
Olivia Kyleman.
Ashley De La Garza.
Yasmin Tulcha.
Jennifer Teresa Sanders.
Amy Kathleen Gill.
Rebecca Lynn Rowe.
McKenna Chelsea Ramiro.
Susan Hubbard.
Diego Joshua Paris Hall.
Ronald Michael Turek Jr.
Christina Koblish.
Sophie Dock.
Jessica Lynn Edmondson.
Bahare Farhid.
Jacob Ryan Jackson.
Stephen Lamont.
Regina Michelle Harner.
Nicole DeSanto.
Elena Cannett.
Heather Francis Sellers.
Gabriela Reyes.
Kent Johnson.
Kristen Miller.
Peter Fontenot.
Adrian Tatman.
Alex Rose Snyder.
Brett Danielson.
David Marshall Golden.
Jeremy Dane Castro.
Nathan Samuel Andrews.
Guy Lawrence.
Kyle Alexander Couture.
Michael Shoemaker.
Samantha Wilkinson.
Timothy Lips Jr.
Kelly Barkley.
Devin Steenwick.
Chelsea Ann Adelman.
Tyler Pittman.
Megan Elizabeth Hill.
Cone Joy.
Elena Marie Harper.
Rebecca Cronin.
Kevin Reardon.
Nicole McGinnis.
Lindsay Batty.
Tyler Gullifson.
Jenna Tantillo.
Alexandra Neely Barker. Nelson Lomei.
Kevin Jaffe.
Rosie Noelini McGoldrick.
Colin Friedkin.
Colleen Rachel Zack.
Colette Backey.
Jacqueline Rose Escala.
Patricia Apple.
Connor Brackley Nielsen.
Brandy Lights.
Amy Alden.
Laura Laquillo.
Brennan Patrick Williams Meadling.
Corey Ann Marie Pollard.
Alexandra Natalie Lopez.
Cameron Dalton.
Cara Rose Azevedo.
Eric Krashevsky.
Ashley Brianna Hyman.
Ali Sather.
Liana Tattersfeld.
Devin Johnson.
Azeen Mashadi.
Nicholas Darst.
Alexandra Nepple.
Todd Harney.
Sarah Graywall.
Aviana Pedler.
Kara Keegan.
Jess Luhansolo.
Georgina Coffey.
Andrew Tang.
Stephen Apple.
Devin McBrayer.
Stephanie Young.
Erica Cavas.
Bianca Ruiz Rosas.
Miles Downing.
Alexandra Monroy.
William Berger.
Jasmine Janine Griffin.
Ben Carlton.
Justine Corden.
Aaron Brack.
Bethany Van der Hagen.
Kevin Bergeron.
Amanda Navarro.
Derek Deere.
Corlette Osborne.
Colin O'Kane.
Guadalupe Villagomez.
Philip Troy.
Tiffany Marie Block.
Austin Theobald.
Laura Chacon.
Danielle Ratty.
Andrea Hune Kreitz.
Malia Santos.
Sherilyn Jones.
Aaron Karskadden.
Paige Newton.
Sarah Healy.
Mary Eugenia Basham.
Janice Hodges.
Jackie Chapman.
Elizabeth Spencer Day.
Jennifer Ferguson.
Roxanne Rentschler.
Heidi Haskins.
Marie Ann Sweet.
Chris Wendt.
Taylor Love Vigil.
Eli Marcus Stein.
Julian Schneider.
David Philip Sanchez.
Ryan Berg.
Ashley Griffiths.
James May.
Devin Graves Montalbano.
Jake Donnan.
Daniel Terry. James Foster. Cody
Michael Mashmeyer.
Cody Fitzgerald.
Got it. Matt Hotmer.
Vivian F. Patagi.
Chris Westover.
Mary Beth Rachel Costa.
Kirsty Watkins.
Cameron Orsi.
Dominic Gonzalez.
Jason Cheung.
Brandon Drake.
Jared Gorton.
Colin James Ibala.
Max Davidson Dillon.
Griffin Ballard.
Stephanie Bream.
Chase Takajo.
Krista Cole.
Joseph Michael Plasek.
Shea Carpenter.
Cody Robertson.
Abby Wong.
Ashley Marie Kaufman.
Samantha Donaldson.
Samantha Gabriela Bravo.
Carissa Rose Holland.
Sarah Hebern.
Daniela Canto.
Kelly Christine Rohrberg.
Esmeralda Pena.
Kelly Nicole Goodrow.
Ludicia Nunes.
Timothy McConkey.
Kimberly Barbosa Soedo.
Troy Ethan Heyman.
Jessica Linebarger.
Julian Rooney.
Angelica Newman.
Kimberly Harris.
Caitlin Claddy.
Jessie Lynn Adams.
Jessica Eckles.
Alexis Smith.
David Anthony Smith.
Kirsten Ivasas.
Julia Marie Dorman.
Ellen Honea.
Kyle Benjamin Morris.
Rebecca Elizabeth Wilson.
Ashley Nicole Sardina.
Emily Rebecca Ward.
Adelaide Estupinian.
Nina Cragg.
Jessica Alvarado Jimenez.
Cody Mason.
Yvette Esquivel.
Sabi Fleming.
Stephanie Gallegos Martinez.
Elizabeth Sanchez Barrias.
Jessica Rojas.
Juliana Casares.
Myra Alejandra Flores.
Natalie Marie Cook.
Luis Melendez Rodriguez.
Grant Nichols.
Arturo Bravo.
Sarah Brentney Dinko.
Alma Josefina Valverde Campos.
Raquel Aviva Meyer.
Salvador Garcia.
Karina Monique Buzo.
Maria Almanza.
Spencer Lovell.
Stephanie Lervold.
Melissa Keating.
Lauren Murphy.
Megan Hyde.
Nicole Bailey.
Samantha Lynn Jackson.
Simone Fortier.
Nicole Anderson.
Tiffany Town.
Angela Allen.
David Allen Hutton.
Tara O'Brien.
Trent James.
Mary Walker.
Jessica Lynn Rava.
Catherine Elise Crowley.
Brian Albert Olson.
Amy Orlando.
Brandon Stephen Mitchell.
Melissa Godinez.
Max William Brazil.
Kendra Ann Kuntz.
Charles Albright.
Danielle Marie Kenny.
Natalie Wisdom.
Shelby K. Manger.
Olivia Escobar.
Kristen Kim.
Jacqueline Fazio.
Kimberly Diane Warner.
Chelsea Meeker.
Matthew Snook.
Joshua Forte.
Stephanie Horwitz.
Nicholas Forte.
Rebecca Fuller.
Tyler Colopy.
Chris Riley.
Kyle Tripp.
Brooke Leone.
Stephen Hussey.
Ashlyn Samuel.
Colin Baspis.
Anna Goldstein.
Nicholas Ray Garcia.
Shauna Hoxie.
Megan Kelly Bocut.
Kayla Downs.
Alexis Jade Hodak.
Abigail Lynn Librizi.
Tyler Dodd.
Ashley Rochelle Wilson.
Cameron Wright.
Miranda Ash.
Daniel Collier.
Alyssa Main.
Mariano Vasquez.
Jessica Rose Christ.
Sandra Hernandez.
Amanda Elizabeth Kent.
Leonel Jimenez Orozco.
Dylan DeYoung.
Patricia Ebanks.
Andrew Chisholmore.
Jan Barber.
Megan Rose.
Suzanne Matson.
Lauren Ground.
Jennifer Morrow.
Bryce McManus.
Alexis Brown.
Anthony Valdivia.
Caitlin Aspel.
Alexander Rockich.
Heather Ostrom.
John Dupree.
Stephen Herrera.
Jessica Shaw.
Cody Arthur.
Julia Christine Halloran.
Aaron Joe Zavala.
Emily Marie Sheldon.
Doris Flores Maloney.
Monica Huerta.
Nicole Trupiano.
Amy Cook.
Julian Pia Hunsdorfer.
Danielle Rose Shord.
Brian Vedderborn.
Stephanie Alejandra Guzman Lopez.
Miriam Natalie Castillejos.
Paulette Guillory.
Cynthia Sofia Ponce.
Jennifer Guy.
Dura Alvarez Amaya.
Jamie Mellum.
Jose Fernando Mendoza. Cynthia Villanueva Ribay.
Jeff Snyder.
Robin Gibson. Sheila Faye Del Mendo.
Keith Testerman.
Billy Burke.
Sean Stone.
Caroline Mickle. Colin Orstadt.
Stanley Weir.
Luke Winders.
Nathan Bernstein.
Ashley Jackson.
Colleen Latier.
Amber Jones.
Colette Reed.
Mackenzie Therese Alameda.
Adrian Bisharat.
Paige Alana Cochran.
Timothy Brophy.
Sarah Kathleen Douglas.
Frank Russell Olsemendi.
Nicole Geis.
Matthew Wayford James Brown.
Erica Ann de la Torre.
Rebecca Rosado.
Ashley Farris.
Marissa Holman Boots.
Ingrid Spetz.
Ann Citronbaum.
Dylan Lennebacker.
Megan Kaufman.
Sabrina Skillings.
Haley Lane.
Ravel Wellock.
Chelsea Girangelli.
Andrew Ferrando.
Jonathan Mack McKinnon.
Brianna Olson.
Scott Kolstead.
Sean Bolin. Matthew Kane Quinn.
Laura O'Rourke.
James Grenwell.
Alexandria Bush.
Lily Xanthi Nichols.
Chloe McFadden.
Theodosia Lones.
Bridget Mahoney.
Robert Dempson.
Alexis Pomish.
Anna Martinez.
Gina Dinelli.
Caitlin Rose Johnson.
Logan Resnikoff.
Raisa Scott.
Allison Basham.
Sydney Frenja.
Ian Okun.
C. Whitney Westfall.
Allison Marie Curley.
Ashley Berryhill.
Candace Meissen.
Dominique Noel Young.
Alexa Montenegro.
Leanna Biddle.
Megan McCann.
Jacqueline Newkirk.
Mallory Nadine Hilbers.
Angelica Gava.
Elizabeth Rose Waddle.
Emily Grace Porter.
Krista Worthington.
Brittany Marie Hayworth.
Constance Hardy.
Sarah Idavia.
Hannah Williams.
Hector Antonio Ruiz.
Amanda McMichael.
Nicholas Brown, congratulations.
Samantha Flom.
Kyle Bernard Shaw Powell.
Yemi Farias.
Sarah Meyer.
Regan Spear.
Catherine Chavez.
Neda Kazamini.
Adriana Ninchi.
Gina Villagante.
Lauren Ayeo.
Spencer Harris.
Bradley Surlis.
Bentley Anderson.
Amy Hanna. Juliana Baumgartner.
Christiane Balagi.
Lauren Cole.
Malia Ann Bainham.
Nicole Marie McKean.
Yvette Fernandez.
Cassandra Mary Cummins.
Jessica Cavillo.
Christopher Copinho Lon.
Sarah Davis.
Jared Rosali.
Heather Marie McGovern.
Andrew Miller Munson.
Justine Ann J.
Ryan John Mahoney.
Valerie Ortiz.
Ricky Ramirez.
Arcelia Onofre.
Erin Elizabeth O'Connell.
Erica Barajas.
Ashley Nicole Oliver.
Mayra Renteria.
Ryan Matthew Stanley.
Amy Domerg.
Kathleen Connell.
Robert Watson.
Thomas Gibson.
Paul Bergkamp.
Catherine Blumhart.
Rachel Page McGonigal.
Katie Bruni.
Matthew Stone.
Molly Sirocco.
Jeff Wesson.
Bianca Nunez.
Kathleen Honstein.
Jessica Shequin.
Melissa Ann Mausner Huth.
Camille Fiori.
Brianne Tassar.
Elizabeth Seychow.
Everett Kemp.
Andrian Moran Perez.
Trista Gianna Davidson.
Lorena Castro Sanchez.
Sarah Catherine Balch.
Hannah Couso.
Accepting on behalf of Warren Stout.
Ashley Faye Seychow.
Christopher L. Rathbun.
Shelley Cantrell.
Christina Kellogg.
Maria Brun. Megan Horneco.
April Renee Holtz.
Zachary Hollowell.
Vanessa Alita Marie Kelly.
Sarah Tating.
Catherine Diane Deneau.
Elizabeth Jones.
Wendy Ferris George.
Catherine Kahawai.
Raina Lynn Allen.
Mia Dalbora.
Sabrina Wolk.
Gavin M. Beach.
Catherine Fox.
Stephen Garibaldi.
Casey Marr.
Christina Ambrosini.
Rachel Hannah Miller.
Leslie Gilbert.
Rebecca Campbell.
Jeffrey Pitzel.
Nicole Hindman.
Carrie Sneed.
Emily Jean Lindorfer.
Lee Zung.
Alan Flores.
Melissa Rosalie Lake Larkin.
Felix Toribio.
Yesenia Mendez.
Juan Pantoja.
Kelly Monica Marie Roach.
Tomas Sanchez.
Ruby Magallanes.
Ismael Gutierrez.
Annalisa De Pazio.
Tiffany Sebring.
Natalie Jane Minogue.
Corina Espino.
Nicole Marie Coughlin. Matthew Michael Coughlin.
Heather Rains.
Richard Lamb.
Jenny Quinlan.
Shelby Lynn Hansen.
Juliana Gonzalez Dominguez.
Gianna Marie Barsanti.
Kim McKenzie.
Cameron Collins.
Marissa Brogdon.
Kimberly Iumen Lias.
Jacqueline Vaughn Chaldy.
Cassandra Solis.
Nathan Tufts Brown.
Lindsay Delahant. Andrew Geese. Mary Joan Walker Durand. Aaron Moses. Alana Palmer. David Liebman. Jocelyn Michelle Torres. Allison Ruth Van Pelt. David Coleman. Samantha Noel Conzen. Sarah Jean Smith. Christopher O'Hanion. Patrick Willis. Oh, lovely name. Hera Karim. David Dippe. Greg Bouillersi.
Cheers. Thank you.
Finally made it, huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
This will be better because this is
Bravo!
Visiting, huh?
Yes.
In the middle.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh.
They always want more. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ah, yeah. That's Exodus.
Yes, indeed. If everyone could please make your way to the seats. Actually, the ceremony isn't over yet. Congratulations to all of the graduates here today. Yeah, every single one of you, including the ones that are leaving. It is my great pleasure to introduce Corianne Scott, who's going to lead us this afternoon as we all sing the Sonoma State Hymn. You will find the words to the hymn on the very last page of your program, so please join us.
whenever I'm ready? We're ready. All right. We sing to thee, O alma mater, hail, all hail, in service with honor long may you prevail. You reign with faith and wisdom for the rights of humankind. Sonoma, we hail thee. In you great strength we find.
Thank you, Corinne, for that wonderful performance. The Sonoma State University hymn has been a part of our graduation ceremony since the 1960s, and we simply couldn't do this without it. At this point in the ceremony, I want to remind you that the Schools of Science and Technology and the School of Social Science are hosting receptions for their graduates and their families immediately following the commencement ceremony. The locations of those receptions are located on the map of campus that's in your program. We really do hope that you all join us so that we can have one last chance to say goodbye to your wonderful family members. You've shared them with us for all these 4 or 5 or 6 years, and we want, 5 more minutes. That's all we ask. We've now come to the part of the ceremony that you heard about at the very beginning, which we call the recessional. This tradition provides us, the faculty, and others that know your students and have come to treasure them, with an opportunity to formally greet and congratulate all these graduating students. Therefore, we request that the audience please remain seated until all the graduates have left the commencement area so that we can have a chance to say goodbye. The recessional will terminate out in the Central Campus quad the way you came in. We really do very much appreciate your patience and your cooperation. Here we go. Will the banner carriers please take up their banners? Right out here, in the center. Will the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates please rise?